All right, friends, it's T, and I'm back again with JasonBlaha, another video. He's put up for us to review. Well, yeah, this is going to be great, man. I just love this shit. Yeah, JasonBlaha, the lifting gym lifting slave says, let's see what he says. Blaha says, how to get the most gains from the least training volume. Well, this is going to be interesting. Oh, yes, the least. Okay.
How do we get the most muscle growth?
I don't know why people think that weights have some kind of magic power to grow muscles.
The most gains out of the least training volume. Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this. And for those who, before I jump into it, who might be asking the question, well, why would we want to get the most gains out of the least volumes? Why can't we just do more? Can't we just exercise more? Isn't that better? And the answer is no, not always.
Yeah, you can. This is endurance training now. You are endurance athletes. Think about it. You are coming into the gym and you're lifting frequently. You're an endurance athlete. Okay, what is that based on? Energy. What's that energy endurance athletes usually load? What do they load? Carbohydrates. What is that? Glycogen. What will that do? Blow you up. Okay. But these repetitive motions as well in the muscle, they will hypertrophy through inflammatory response as well, and a bunch of other things. A bunch of phony hypertrophies, okay? That's why they say these athletes, it'll lead to hypertrophy. It does lead to hypertrophy in the muscle. The muscle cell itself, that's how it hypertrophies, energy source. But you need more of them. If they grow exponentially huge and massive, that is through a mutation. That doesn't make you stronger, it makes you weaker. When they say, oh, these people, they had a myostatin deficiency, this and that, and, whatever, it's a mutation. And then they go, the cell grew 2-3 times bigger than it would usually grow. Well, that's why it reaches an MND size limit to protect you from becoming weak. Oh, you understand me? As MND size limit. If that cell was to keep getting bigger and bigger like a fat cell, you'll become weak. Have you noticed fat people? Notice people with 20% body fat, 15. Not so bad, right? Now notice people with 50%, 60% or whatever. Looking kind of nasty, blubbery, hanging around. Skin's hanging out there. Think about that like in terms of your muscle cells. If you thought your muscles could just keep exponentially getting bigger and bigger, the cells would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. That only happens in a mutation, in myostatin mutation. You'll get really weak, like these rats, like they did the test on the rats and stuff like that. So when, what's his name? That power lifter, the Beast, Eddie the Beast. When he says, I have a myostatin deficiency, if he did, he'd be weak. He goes, well, he's strong. How could you be strong if you have myostatin deficiency? It will make you weak. You understand what I'm trying to explain to you? If his muscle cells could just exponentially get bigger, nobody else's, he's got a mutation, he'd be weak. That's what happens. You get weak. You don't get stronger if the cell keeps getting bigger. It's filled with cytoplasm. It's a jelly-like substance, bro. You understand me? It's made up of sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. It'll just fucking make you weak. It's shit. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
And there's a few reasons why. Why it might behoove you to do the least volume.
That's why muscles stop growing. And then around the muscle fibers, they fill up with what? They fill up with sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. Get it? Now, when you first come in the gym, your newbie gains, you get an influx of these myonuclei, these cells. They attach, whatever. They can synthesize protein. They can do a bunch of stuff, okay? They can synthesize contractile proteins. But you can only get so much of them. You understand me? And here's the thing. A protein is not loaded as an energy source into the cell, okay? So I think people really don't understand bodybuilding whatsoever, how this thing works. They just don't understand. Neither does Blaha. Blaha's out to lunch, man. You need to damage muscle fibers so the progenitor can donate its nuclei, it can fuse, bind, create more muscle fibers, and a whole bunch of stuff, okay? That's how real muscles are built, and protein synthesis needs to exceed this breakdown when you have muscle damage. You don't need to eat protein being an endurance athlete lifting in the gym. Get it? Like a lifting fucking slave, bro. Get it, bro? Yeah.
For one, it's your time, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. We all have 7 days in a week. We can only allocate that time to so many things. And I would make the case that if you're spending extra hours lifting, per week that you do not actually need to get meaningful gains, or if it's a very, very, very minuscule amount of extra gains, it may not be worth your time. That's time you could be spending relaxing.
You're not going to get any gains at all if you're adapted. The only time you're going to get a gain in myofibrillar growth is if you get an adaptation. Okay? It's really simple.
It could be time you could be spending having fun. That could be time you could be spending.
Look at that. Lono Max has draws on Tuesdays and
Spending doing something else productive or valuable.
Yeah, that's right. You could be spending time doing something productive and valuable. Why waste your time being a lifting slave, dude? That's what he wants, to turn you into a gym slave.
Right. I mean, even if someone said they wanted to lose more body fat, well, you could spend that same time doing cardio. You burn more calories because again, most of our gains.
Exactly. Listen to what he's saying. You should be doing cardio if you want to burn more calories. Or did you want to burn body fat? I don't want to burn calories. You want to burn body fat, the triglyceride, as energy. You want your body to use that as energy so you can burn it and look leaner and whatever, this cosmetic look. So why is he lifting weights trying to get leaner? He's not doing any cardio. I don't get it, man. This is just stupid shit.
Muscle growth, or from training, come from the muscle growth end. All right, well, another reason is soreness, fatigue.
The training coming from the muscle growth? The training coming from the muscle growth? The muscle growth coming from the training? Man, what growth? Sarcoplasmic?
The more we train, the more we have to recover from it. And the recovery end, that can impact quality of life. It can impact the amount of soreness we experience.
Yeah, it depends. It can impact your life. Sure can. It can impact a lot of stuff, man. Can also disable you. Can disable you. Can do a lot of stuff to you. What the hell is he talking about, man?
There are recovery resources involved. We will have to put extra efforts into recovery the more that we train, and particularly as you start to get bigger. And
you mean growth? Why recover? Why recovery? Endurance athletes recover. Us bodybuilders, we fucking grow. What the fuck?
Stronger. Okay, and that's a big factor people are not thinking about. You might get away with X amount of training when you're weak, but when you get strong and you can move big weights, you may not be able to handle these same sort of reps and sets at relative intensities. So that's also a factor to think about. Number 3, we're going to come over to burnout and injuries. Overuse is agreed upon by the experts to be the biggest cause of injuries in the gym. It's also, the overuse can cause people to stop training. It can cause them to get burned out. That's a big factor because they're not able to make it work in their life. And if they think that the only way that they can make gains is by doing, X number of hours per week instead of saying, well, what if I can only get to the gym an hour and a half a week total? Then what are you going to do?
I don't understand. Why do you want to slave yourself to a gym, to lifting weights, to exercise? Why would you want to slave yourself to that? What is the purpose? So you can maintain something artificial? Build something real so you don't have to be slaved to it. Get it? Build some real natural strength. Build some real natural muscle fibers. Stop building artificial strength, get it? Force production, and these phony artificial sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. Get it, bro? Yeah, man. Just put in some time, like 6 months. 6 months maybe. I don't know. 4 months, 6 months. Just damage, repair, and remodel them. That's it. And be in an anabolic growth state, okay? So you can convert the catabolic hormone to an androgen so it doesn't have to compete with myocytic androgen receptor, okay? And you'll be in a positive nitrogen balance and your muscles will build. It's really simple. Do full body workouts. They're the best. Full body upper, full body lower, okay? 1 in 1 day, 1 in 1 day, okay? And take 7 days off to repair and remodel those muscles and come back and hit it again, okay? And do like a 5x5 times 12 or whatever. That's it. That's all you have to do. It's an overworking of an untrained muscle, okay? An overworking of an unaccustomed muscle. It becomes unaccustomed because the week off you took and you came back. It's ready to be hit again, but you've got to move heavier now and weight too as well to get more adaptations. It's based on an adaptation process, okay?
They tend to give up, they tend to quit, or they tend to expect less.
He's adapted to everything he's doing here. He's adapted to the weight, to the exercises. He's adapted. So what are you doing there? You are an endurance athlete.
results, and as a result of that, they put in less effort. All right. So when we're talking about getting the most gains on a set for set basis, number one, right off the top.
Again, the most gains set per set. He doesn't believe in hyperplasia. It doesn't exist. So if it doesn't exist, then how do muscles get bigger? Oh, you're gonna say, well, the cells, they get bigger. They can only get so big, dude. Read science. I think people are dumb. Read science. If the cell were to get 2 times, 3 times bigger than over the myonuclear domain size limit, you're gonna get weak like that cow in fucking Denmark or wherever the fuck they have it. Or those rats they did that study on, they blew up like balloons. They were all bunchy and blowing up. They were weak, get it? Why does it make you weak? Because there's no myofibrillar growth there. There's nothing going on there. The cell is getting bigger now. You need to get more fibers and then the cells get bigger. You need more fibers. But according to Blaha, hyperplasia doesn't exist. So adding to the nuclear domain doesn't exist. Get it? Damage doesn't exist. There's not going to be a remodeling. According to him, there's no more cells. There's no cells, there's no structure, there's no fusion of the fibroblast cells and activation of the satellite cell, this and that, proliferation, differentiation, and the addition of these myonuclei to support further muscle growth. Bingo, bro. Get it? Yeah, man. But the cells themselves are filled with what? Cytoplasm. A muscle cell is filled with cytoplasm. It is not filled with all these proteins in there. I'm not saying there's something there. The extracellular matrix and all that. And then there's a buildup of contractile proteins. Of course, the sarcomeres and all that, they're building up of these fucking contractile proteins. You need them. They build up, they go up, and they go down. Springy material and everything. Yeah, but it's not an energy source. In the cells, usually they hold energy in them. A lot of energy. You'd be surprised. A lot of stuff is energy in your body to keep you alive. This whole planet is based on energy. It's an energy source. Now, like I said, to be naturally stronger, you need more myofibrillars. But like I said, if your muscle cell was to go over the myonuclear domain size limit, you'd be fucked. It's a mutation, and you'd be weak. And you'd look nasty, too. You'd look nasty. And a bunch of things. That's why you see these bodybuilders, I told you, they don't cause a mutation because they took steroids. They accumulate sarcoplasmic hypertrophy in the muscles unless they get an adaptation. And they don't get very many adaptations because that's not what they're lifting for. They're lifting for size. Get it? They don't care about an adaptation. They don't even want to be sore and pain and DOMs. They don't want that. They want to get massive really fast and go on stage in briefs, in underwears, in pose, okay, and beat other guys with size. That's it. And then they want some definition, so they use anabolics to create these artificial look, okay? These artificial muscles, artificial ripped, and everything else. Artificial cheese, artificial fucking hamburgers, artificial food, artificial fucking a whole bunch of shit out there. Chemicals, you name it, bro. This world is artificial, okay? There's even artificial chicks, and this dude is artificial. This fucking Blaha.
Harder sets. The harder you train on every set, what do you think happens? And harder doesn't mean that you swing and cheat and grind through really terrible reps where you have to cheat through them to get them, because that's not giving you more stimulus.
Yes, harder than the last time. Stimulus. To do what? To fatigue? Fatiguing? We already discussed this. Fatigue is what? Associated with sarcoplasmic.
It really isn't. Okay, if you're reaching over and swinging to get a rep, or even like on the curls here on the preacher curl, if I were to take the other hand over and help myself do several reps, the muscles aren't training harder. They're actually training less. They're doing less work on those.
Well, are they?
You're just trying to do more, hoping it will do more. Well, once we get to muscle failure, there's no more muscle growth to be found. If you're having to assist or cheat, it's because you can no longer lift the weight. That also means that your highest threshold muscle fibers, the ones that are really capable of growth, that means they're not working anymore. They're too exhausted. They have to have a break before your nervous system will even recruit them again, or before they can even physically, chemically contract again. So
he's been watching my videos. Chemically and physically contract again. They need that. They're based on glycogen, this sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, to contract. Yeah, it's based on that. You'd lose the contraction if there wasn't any there.
again, hard sets. But the further we are from failure, the less growth we get on a set per set basis. Okay, because we only get so many reps, and generally,
See, the further you're away from these failures, the further you are from growth, because you're not for every gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water drawn between skin and muscle into the muscle to create these artificial sarcoplasmic hypertrophy muscles. Get it, bro? This isn't based on myofibrillar growth, because if it was, he would be telling you have to do unaccustomed, unfamiliar forms, untrained muscles, get what? Unaccustomed exercise known to cause what? Widespread muscle damage. Never says a custom exercise anywhere. Anything in eccentric exercise causes damage. Eccentric exercises cause damage, but they don't cause damage with repeated bouts, and they don't cause damage in an accustomed state or things that you're familiar with that you're doing in the gym. Get it, dude? You understand me? They only ever cause growth in an adaptation when muscles are damaged, and they come with a whole bunch of fucking shit that comes, side effects that come with it. Fucking pain, reduced force capacity, range of motion, and a whole bunch of shit, dude. Yes. So I don't know. He doesn't tell you that. He's not moving for myofibrillar growth. He's not damaging. He used to say with his rubber bands, remember back in the past, his old videos, 2 years ago, he used to go, look, we're damaging muscles. We're damaging. He's damaging, is he? He's damaging, is he? If he was fucking damaging all the time, why isn't he fucking massive? What's the matter with him? Why he need TRT and all this shit? Why he on an artificial diet? Here's the thing. Why is he eating artificial food and then creating artificial muscles and creating an artificial strength? Force production is not based on his natural strength, because he can't lift that. So what exactly is going on here? Please tell me.
only about your last 5 reps before muscle failure cause significant muscle growth. And if we start thinking about the acute...
But what kind of... He says it's going to cause significant muscle growth when you fail. What kind of muscle growth? A fucking muscle cell has a myonuclear domain size limit. It can only get so big. And you only get an influx of them when you were untrained, because you got an adaptation. You were untrained, got newbie gains. That's when you get them in the beginning, and then you don't get any more. It's beyond during this hypertrophic process where it can donate anymore, the satellite cell. So what do you need to do? You need to move for an adaptation so you could get the progenitor cell to activate and donate extra nuclei to that domain to support further muscle growth. But you've had to have maxed out the growth in that cell before it can donate its nuclei. That's why you need to be in an anabolic growth state. It's a 2-part stage or a 3-part stage. There's the damage, there's the being in an anabolic growth state, and then there's the repair and the remodeling phase. Get it? Yeah, so you can push that domain. Otherwise, that domain ain't fucking moving. And the only domain that it takes on a secondary shift called sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, okay? These phony artificial muscles. So, I mean, look at this poor man here. It's sad watching this guy. Look, it's sad for me to watch you people fail repetitively. You know, in your imagination, you go and you stand on your scale and go, look, I'm gaining weight. Yeah, you're gaining weight. What is that weight? It's not based on myofibrillar growth. Gaining weight is not gaining muscles. I mean, I don't know what people are thinking out there.
Cumulative effect of reps over a workout. If you're training 5 reps from failure,
you will age yourself and you will look bad. If you keep overeating protein because you were working out and you eat an artificial diet, you will accelerate aging. And exercising accelerates aging. All these things accelerate. The inflammation, the artificial diet, the overeating of protein, mTOR being on all the time. It's only ever good if you're going to build muscles in a short... Remember, in this world, success is a short window. It isn't, I'm going to be successful 20 years from now. Get it? People, their success stories are like, oh, look how fast I got rich in 3 years or 2 years or a couple of months. It isn't 20 years that I became successful in 50. It took me 50 years to become successful. Even fighters, UFC, tennis, whatever they're doing, it's a very short window success. Get it? Yeah. But failure could last forever, because that's what Blaha is. He's a failure. He has been failing for 35 years. Get it? Or whatever.
5 sets, you might only have gotten around 5 or 6 total reps that even caused any muscle growth. You did 1 set to failure.
Again, it caused muscle growth. What type? There's 2 kinds. What type?
You got
The real one or the fake one?
the same amount.
Remember, it says here the least amount of volume. He's going to get you gains without that much volume.
So get real close to failure. And I'm saying you need to take everything to failure. I pretty much did in this video.
But why do you have to take it to failure, Blaha? Why? What's the purpose? Because it's going to get you more gains. Yes.
From these 6 exercises you see me doing from the same training week. And this is all just a back and bicep. And no, I don't do these on the same day currently. I have an arm day and a chest and a back day.
Whatever.
But these exercises are all done in the same week. So these are being taken pretty much to failure, right? However, outside of that, because again, I did a rest pause here, so I couldn't quite do another rep, so I took just a short breather, just squeezed out one more. So that is also more or less failure. The others, a lot of them are taken to actual momentary failure. You just try to do a rep and it sticks. That works. Now, a lot of people say, but that creates fatigue. Well, you're not concerned with that unless you're doing really high volumes of training. In this context, we're talking about doing the minimum amounts that we need to stimulate good growth, and so just making the most out of those. All right, so that's really, really high on the list. All right, also on the list, doing multiple exercises. If you're going to do the same amount of volume, like let's say you're going to do 6 sets for a muscle per week. Yes, I know there's going to be overlap on compound movements, but we're talking, even if we don't count these rows and stuff as biceps, right? We just count the others as biceps. We count these as lats and rear delts and traps and all that.
You notice he's doing full body, but he's adapted, and it's very lazy workout type of. It's a very lazy upper body workout.
Okay, it's back movements. The data has generally shown that different movements will even in this.
And remember, he repeats these things every day, so he's adapted to all the workout. It's adapted.
Same muscle cause slightly biased muscle growth in different parts of the muscle. Okay, we've seen it.
What lean muscle? What lean muscle? What lean muscle? What?
This has been observed in the lab. Any given exercise doesn't cause an even distribution through all parts of the muscle. Some of the fibers, and it may even still be the lower and upper might still be, but we find individual sections of it. The muscle fibers themselves, when they're subject to MRI and things, they don't grow at the same rate through the muscle. It's kind of a factor. So by doing multiple exercises, guess what? We can more evenly distribute that through different fibers through the muscle. Well, what is that? Through the muscle. Well, what does that mean in the data? Well, the data has been shown that, guess what? When the same amount of volume is done over more than one exercise, it's usually a little more muscle growth. Now, is it a night and day difference? Like, 20%, 30%? No. But it is a few percentages more. So you see where we're going.
So why isn't he ever growing? If this is creating all this muscle growth, then why isn't Blaha growing? He's lifting all the time. And he's telling you this causes muscle growth. He's doing all these things to cause muscle growth. Why aren't his muscles growing? Why doesn't his arms grow? I know it's an excuse. It's a genetic thing. It's this and that. Yeah, but you're doing all the right things, right, Blaha? I mean, what is it? You're doing all these things. So why aren't your arms growing? You're suffering from sarcopenia. You just don't realize it, Blaha. Your legs are skinny and your arms are skinny and you have a fat stomach, a fat waist. Okay, that's sarcopenia. Probably it's osteosarcopenia for all I know.
With this, some cases it could be up to 10% more. So if you're going to do the same amount of work, like you say, okay, I'm going to do this many sets, all right. It would be in your best interest to do them very close to muscle failure or possibly to muscle failure. It would be in your best interest to split them over multiple exercises. Now, in the case of this training week, that's literally what I did. These exercises you see, I did 2 sets of each of these to failure during the week and did 6 sets. All right, so 6 sets for my back, 6 sets for my biceps. Obviously, I'm not counting the back work as biceps. I'm not counting deadlifts as back, and so on, even though I did deadlifts. All right, better growth. The other thing, thinking about the ranges of motion. Don't shortchange ranges of motion, particularly in the lengthened positions on exercises that you can load the bottom, like the preacher curl, right? I'm going all the way down to my elbow locks, or my elbow locks, right? Your angles may be different. Same thing on the other two curls. We're going all the way down, and we're actually going all the way up on the curls. But the stretch part is more important for muscle growth on average when we've studied it. In some cases, contracted positions on some movements don't seem to do much of anything for hypertrophy, very, very little. So creating that fatigue through the parts that give you the most growth, good idea. So, benching all the way down to your chest, looking at those ranges of motion. Kind of a big deal. So picking movements that put you into the stretched positions is a pretty wise idea. Doesn't have to be on every exercise. So again, efficient, good quality exercises, okay, with decent form. These would be the tips I would give you. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. And
Man, I don't know. That was so uninformative. That was ridiculous.
I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Jeez, man, you think that was informative? Look at this poor guy. He's just melting. Just waste. This is a waste of time. This is very sad. I'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one, man. This is just ridiculous stuff again.